You're never going to be a good man or good at being a man without pain and suffering. You're going to have to go through a bunch of shit. The correct mental model for men to have is a degree of stoicism and not to be too concerned with even how they feel. If I woke up today happy, I would have done this interview with you. If I woke up today sad, I would have done this interview with you. What's the difference? Why put so much importance on my emotion if certain things must be done? I must work, I must train. I've got things to do. So why are we going to sit around and talk about how I feel if it doesn't even affect how I act? And as a man, it shouldn't, because there's too much to do. And the masculine world is hyper competitive. So if you're competing against every other man for every dollar you make, every girl you see, the house you live in, the car you drive, the life you live, you're not going to be able to compete with the person who performs regardless of how they feel if you only compete when you feel like competing.
Yo, you know what time it is. It is episode 144 of the Maki and Kane podcast. I'm finna pass the mic over to Kane, let him say what he got to say. But first, Kane, what'd you think of that intro, man?
That was a pretty badass intro, man. Andrew Tate never misses at all whatsoever, neither him or Tristan. Everything they say is always facts. You know, and I love seeing how people make like these different clips and shit. It's badass. But anyway, with that being said, you already know what it is. We're back at the Surf Smoke game on the ground from Hungry Hounds. We just got up the pound and are ready for the next round. So with that being said, grab y'all snacks, y'all drinks, y'all weed, whatever the fuck the case may be. We're for to jump right into this shit.
UFC 293. Safe to say that, you know, the fight card didn't have a lot of notable names unless you're a true fight fan. You know, I would classify myself as a developing fight fan. I'm starting to get more familiar with just the roster and different classes and everything like that. So it's pretty awesome just to watch everybody's arcs. And it's even cooler sometimes when you don't know a fighter and you get to see him for the first time. It's like a treat. There was a lot of knockouts, but I want to basically go to the main event, Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. Now, I knew if Sean Strickland was to win this fight that he would have to do something miraculous. I didn't expect for him to win by decision, but I thought that he could finish him because I don't know, man. It just seems like Izzy's going through a new arc now where he has to evolve his game ever since, you know, the Alex Pereira situation. So the world is shocked. It was a great fight, but I don't think that there's grounds for a rematch because he got his ass whooped for 25 minutes. It's not like he got caught or something like that. He literally got his ass kicked for 25 minutes. So I don't like how the UFC uses favoritism as far as certain people, even when they're not deserving. Because, for instance, Aljo, he defended his title against literally everybody, and he lost his title once to Sean O'Malley, and now it's looking like he's not going to get a rematch. And, you know, he's only lost one fight. Izzy, on the other hand, he's 1-2 in his last 3 fights. Yet he always gets to fight everyone who beats him. And it's almost like, dang, bro, are we ever going to get to see any new scenarios play themselves out? You know, Sean Strickland just did what he did, bro. Like, I don't think it's fair to throw him right back into the fire, at least when it comes to the same opponent. I think that Duplessis, the dude that he got up in the face of and called nigga, and all that shit, now it's going to be funny if he gets to fight Sean Strickland because he did all that shit just to be the one that's now on the sideline. So I want to get your opinion about the Izzy fight. I want to get your opinion about what you think about the rematch. Should he be able to get it? Should he have to go through a contender? What do you think Alex Pereira think? What do you think about all this, man? Izzy Adesanya did not look like Izzy. He just looked like he was in slow motion, bro. And Dana White is wanting to give him the rematch.
I'm gonna lie, bro. I think Izzy might have been a little scared in that ring because I ain't never seen him move like slow like that, like pacing himself type shit. I don't know, man. I think if they do give him a rematch, they need to give Aljamain Sterling a rematch too. That's just how it should be. If they don't, then there's some fishy bullshit going on. There's some fish fillet bullshit going on, and if I was Aljo and Izzy got a rematch and I didn't, I'd be letting Keisha out because what the fuck do I look like losing one fight and not being able to rematch versus somebody literally getting their ass whooped and handed to them and getting a rematch? Like that shit don't sound right to me at all. So yeah, I do think there's favoritism there. I thought that Izzy would have been knocked out. I thought that's how Strickland would have finished him. But no, surprisingly, I mean, he got dropped a couple of times, but he didn't actually go to sleep. Um, and it surprised me too. It still surprised me seeing Izzy get dropped like that. But you know, he just didn't have it. He didn't have it. I think fear might have got a hold of him a little bit. I think that's the reason why he got his ass whooped. He wasn't there was multiple times where he wasn't keeping his hands up or none of that shit. And you could hear the punches on that face, man. It was whoo, it was crazy. It was a good ass fight though. But yeah, man, they don't. If he does end up being able to get a rematch, he needs to do a whole lot of fucking training before he goes to rematch Sean Strickland because what he showed us in there is just it doesn't seem like it was him. So I like you said with him getting knocked out by Alex, it probably did something to his fucking his head a little bit. You know, probably made him realize, damn, bro, I ain't I'm not invincible type shit, you know. So I don't know. It might have rocked him a little bit, might have shocked him, might have gave him a little bit of he might have had a little PTSD from getting dropped on the floor. Whenever from when Alex knocked him out, who knows? There's a whole lot of different shit that could have been going through his head. But I think he needs to train a whole hell of a lot more. And I heard they was talking about Strickland had been training like 30, 50 rounds of just of sparring for that fight. So yeah, he was coming to that fight ready. I don't know if Izzy knew that he was taking that shit that seriously, but yeah, Strickland was ready for that fucking fight, boy. And he brought his all, and he earned that title, boy. He earned that shit. He fought his ass off.
All right. Good analysis. So with that being said, I'm gonna show you a little quick picture, and I want to get your opinion on this dumbass shit. This is what we're rewarding people. We're not rewarding our soldiers, or we're not rewarding people for like educational advancements and architecture. This is what we are giving people records for. Now, I couldn't believe when I saw this shit. Man sets Guinness World Records after watching 777 movies in theaters in 1 year. Now, I want to see what you think about this, but I guarantee you this Homer Simpson, incest looking motherfucker, hasn't seen Sound of Freedom one time. Anyways, I want you to go ahead and read this. And this is what we're putting people in the world records book for. We're put not what you think about this bullshit, bro.
I seen it a few minutes before we had started, man. It's just all it is just it's more fuel to the fire for the propaganda of dumbing people down. They want to show people, oh wow, you the goat if you do bullshit. Like that's what they will reward is bullshit, but they won't reward the cops who put their lives on the line every single day for the civilians. They won't reward the homeless veterans that are killing themselves every day. They won't do none of that shit, bro. They won't reward the firefighters who go into them hot, burning ass buildings to pull people out of them whose dumbasses decided to light their house on fire or some shit. They don't reward the people who actually deserve it. They reward some bullshit like this, and that's all it is. It's just they want people to want to do more bullshit to get more rewards because they think, oh man, well if I if I can get rewarded, then I'm gonna fucking do it. You know, because they see shiny shit. Everybody's attracted to shiny shit, and that's all they want. And a Guinness World Record in their eyes is shiny shit. You know, it's just goofy as fuck. Dude looks like he still lives in his mom's basement. Looks like he's never seen pussy before in real life, much less even touched one. He probably beats the porn every fucking day because he doesn't know how to go out and be around people.
He
So
probably could break the record for how many porn videos he watched in 1 year.
shit, I don't know, man. I think there's probably some worse people out there. You never know. Where there's a big fish, there's always going to be a bigger fish. So I don't know, man. It's just goofy as fuck with what they decide to reward people for. But it's all just part of the dumbing down propaganda that they're trying to serve people. They want to get them more participated into being a fucking dumbass, a degenerate dumbass that does nothing with their life.
Yeah, so with that being said, you got anything you want to bring to the precipice? By the way, we will no longer be putting guests up in this panel because and I'm just going to say that and I stand on business.
Yeah, man. But there's one thing I wanted to speak about, man. It's crazy. But it got reversed very quickly, and I'm very grateful and happy that it did. Was there was a school district in Oklahoma actually that they decided I don't remember where it was in Oklahoma, but they decided to put a drag queen in there as the principal of a school. Now, this right here is just straight bullshit. Like you probably couldn't put up an image of the cross in a school or a Bible or whatever. You can't even have a Bible in a school, but you could sit around, you could put a mentally ill person in charge of the fucking school, the school curriculum, and all that shit. Now, thankfully, there was uh the representative of that district. I can't remember his name. He said, "No, we ain't doing this shit," and he got the drag queen up out of there real quick and fired him, which is very good. Props to the representative. He did what he was supposed to do. Shout out to you for keeping the children's minds as clean as you possibly can. Now, obviously, they're still gonna slide some shit in there, and the reason why I say that is because there was a video that I had saw. I think I sent it to you a few days ago, but it was over there in California where they were supposed to be in quote unquote math class, and this is in middle school or high school. But instead of them learning class, they were watching a fucking video on gender inclusivity and sexual orientation inclusivity and all this other bullshit. And the students clearly didn't want to watch it because they were booing the video and just making disgusting noises and shit. And the fucking teacher says, if y'all continue to be disrespectful, she said she was gonna have something down there and she was gonna implement Saturday school for everybody throughout the rest of the year. And this is this bullshit that goes on inside of classrooms. Now, I'm not going to say it goes on everywhere, but this is what we're starting to do inside classrooms in certain places. And it's just absolute bullshit. It's degenerative. It destroys children's minds. And that's what they want to do, is they want to destroy our kids, and which is why we have to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do to keep our children's minds clean and free of corruption and twisted thought processes and lifestyles.
Gotta hold the fort, in situations like this, the Matrix is sitting back hoping that we just accept everything, because when we accept everything and we accept it once, we can no longer reject anything that they want to put in front of us in the future. So with that being said, we got to stand for something, otherwise we'll fall for anything. So that's old as the tale of time, man. So with that being said, that was a great episode. You got a UFC 293 reaction and the Keisha news. So I'm gonna call it. There'll be a main topic and then a Keisha news. You never know what type of bullshit you'll find on the internet. But listen, man, we're going to keep being productive. The Maquis Show on later. The Kane Show on soon. So with that being said, I'm going to pass the mic over to Kane, and then we're going to debut our new outro. We switch it up. You never know what you're going to get with the intro and the outro in this bitch.
That's facts, man. Make sure y'all share with your friends, your families, your mummies, your aunties, your grannies, and everybody else that y'all know. And with that being said, we're going to get up on out of here, man. Like you said, he'll be live later on around the usual time. I'll be live soon, probably in the next 15 or 20 minutes or so. And we're finna get this ball rolling. Play that outro.
My head, I'm sad knowing that I could have the best life on earth and the only thing I have to do is be a coward to live it. But I don't want to fucking wake up every day looking over my shoulder worried about being killed. And the alternative to it is to wake up every day and feel like a fucking pussy because I don't tell the truth. I'm left with two shit choices. Why? For following God? For telling people to be a good person? It's disgusting what's happening to me. I'm sad not for me. I'm sad for everybody around me. It's disgusting. I don't know.
They'll have to kill me first. They're going to shoot you. I'll stand in the way. We'll go down together.
All I am is a man. I want the world in my hands. I hate the beach, but I stand in California with my toes in the sand. Use the sleeves of my sweater. Let's have an adventure. Head in the clouds, but my gravity centered. Touch my neck and I'll touch yours. You and those little high-waisted shorts. Oh.
That was it, bro. That was it. That was it.
That shit gave me the fucking chills. I ain't even gonna lie. That shit. Whew, boy, I got the butterflies from watching that shit.
And one thing that I just saw too, Team USA did not receive a medal in Olympic basketball. So that's the reason why I want to say these basketball champions are not world champions because they can't even fucking beat Canada, bro. You can't even fucking beat any other country. So while y'all sit around worshiping these basketball players, you think that they're a big fish? Well, there's always a bigger fish. So until these athletes start competing on a global scale, quit calling these motherfuckers world champions. UFC fighters are world champions, not these faggot ball players and butt ball. So with that being said, the outro sent the chills. We're going to keep doing what we do and make sure you stay at your fields. Bitch. Peace.
That's a fact. Get up out of here, hoes.